We're starting on Monday. In the morning, unsurprisingly, I made myself some porridge for breakfast. And since I was already craving something chocolatey as soon as I woke up, I went for a chocolate peanut butter porridge. So to my small pot, I added millet flakes, cocoa powder, a pinch of salt, soy milk and water, and cook it for a few minutes until it thickens nicely. At some point I also added a bit of maple syrup just for sweetness. Once the mixture was about 80 to 90% cooked, I stirred in some soy yogurt and peanut butter. The yogurt makes it super creamy, and the nut butter not only adds flavor but also thickens the porridge even more. As you can see, it turns out really thick and creamy. I topped it with banana slices, some hemp seeds, a bit more cocoa powder, and a pinch of flaky salt. I really took my time enjoying this. After that, I went grocery shopping. I always go to Aldi for fruits and vegetables and Edeka or Dens for yogurt, tofu, and all of the other stuff. If I don't have a specific recipe video planned for the week, I just see what's in season or on sale. On Sunday, the day before, I had lunch with my parents, for which I had baked some fresh bagels. And there was one left over, so I toasted this up for lunch. The bagel recipe, as always, can be found in the caption. For toppings, I used up some more ingredients from the weekend. Sliced tomatoes and cucumber, vegan cream cheese, I really like the one from Simply V here. Vegan salami from Billy Green, the tomato slices with plenty of pepper and salt. And finally some sprouts. I don't buy mock meats like this salami very often, but every now and then it's really, really good. And in combination with the bagel and the tomatoes, it was actually so delicious. After that, I was still kind of hungry, so I had a bowl of muesli. This chocolate muesli from Bauhof is my absolute favorite at the moment, just with soy milk and an apple. Then I quickly got changed because I spontaneously decided to go watch the carnival's parade with my friends, followed by a visit to the old town here in Düsseldorf. Sensory overload at its finest, but still quite fun. By the time I got home, it was very late, so I put on some comfies and made a quick dinner, starting by cooking up a pot of pasta. In my big pan, I then sauteed some mushrooms, onions, bell pepper and garlic, just with salt and pepper. I had some herby tomato sauce left in the fridge. This one's probably my favorite store-bought tomato sauce, so I used that up. Then I drained the pasta, added it to the pan, mixed everything well, and finished it off with nutritional yeast. And after that, I honestly just fell into bed. I was so tired. The next day, I woke up pretty late for my standards, and for breakfast I had another millet porridge, a different variation this time, with flax seeds and this white almond butter that to me doesn't taste like much, but I just want to use it up. I topped it with a quick berry compote, followed by a pinch of cardamom and of course a sprinkle of flaky salt. And honestly, I don't think I will ever get tired of porridge in the morning. In the late morning, I went for a run, and the weather was so nice that I didn't have to wear 3 layers for once, which is a win in my books. When I got back, I was craving something fresh but still filling. If you watched my videos last summer, you will know that I love salads, but not boring ones. Salads with different elements, crunch, and a good dressing that will actually fill you up. And since it's getting warmer again, I've been craving these types of salads more and more. So after my run, I made a quinoa salad with crispy tofu. I already had some cooked quinoa in the fridge from Sunday, so that was the base. The tofu I cut into cubes and tossed with cornstarch, 5-spice powder and salt. Meanwhile, I chopped up some fresh veggies, cucumber, radishes, mint and parsley. I tossed everything into a big bowl with the quinoa, a handful of lettuce and some red cabbage I had on hand. Once the tofu was done, I added this to the bowl along with some pickled onions and a quick lemony coriander dressing I had made. And this salad hit the spot. It was fresh, filling, and so delicious. I liked it so much that I actually wrote out the recipe after eating. It's in the caption of this video and on my website if you want to recreate it. I spent the afternoon editing and just doing some admin stuff on my laptop and really wasn't in the mood to cook anything special for dinner. So I just defrosted the last portion of the peanut chana masala from my last recipe video, which is chickpeas in a well-spiced tomato and peanut sauce. I had it with rice and some of the pickled red cabbage I had also made for that video. It's seriously so good, especially with the chickpeas. And just like that, we're at Wednesday. I had already prepared my breakfast the day before because I wanted to try something new. Blended oats, which I kept seeing on Instagram, but never made them myself because I personally don't want to clean my blender every morning. So I ended up just blending a bunch of oats beforehand and storing them in the cupboard and then soaking that oat flour because the texture is the same with much less effort. So I mixed the oat flour with chia seeds, salt, a pinch of cardamom, soy milk and yogurt, and left this in the fridge overnight to thicken. In the morning, as you can see, it is super creamy. I ended up using that white almond butter again, but I think a drizzle of tahini would be even better. And quickly made some cinnamon apples, just apples cut into cubes, sauteed with cinnamon and a bit of coconut oil until soft and caramelized. These paired so well with the cardamom in the oats. I'll definitely be making blended oats more often. I love the texture of these, and with the apples, this was just a really good breakfast. For lunch, I wanted to use up some cauliflower I had in the fridge from last week, so I roasted that in the oven with chickpeas, cumin, coriander, salt and pepper for about 25 minutes at 190 Celsius, I think. In the meantime, I made some yellow rice. However, I didn't have turmeric on hand, which I would usually use, so I used curry powder, which turned the rice orange rather than yellow, but that's okay. For the base, I added some arugula into a bowl, as well as some leftover red cabbage and fresh parsley. Then topped it with the rice, roasted cauliflower and chickpeas. Can I just say, roasted cauliflower is one of the best things ever. It is so good. Then I added sauerkraut, a bit more parsley, as well as a drizzle of tahini and lemon juice for the dressing. And I even got to eat outside on the balcony that day, which made it even better. I spent the afternoon reading my book and going for a walk in the sun. The impact sunlight has on my mental health is honestly crazy. And what you're seeing here is me wrapping a birthday present for my friend with lots of love but not much skill. I got her a small vase because she loves flowers. It was her birthday on this day and her party was in the late evening, so I had an early dinner before getting dressed and ready. I kept it pretty quick using some soba noodles I had in the cupboard and also made some more of the 5-spice tofu. I am obsessed with tofu cooked in that way. However, you could also do a spicy tofu here with chili or something like that. In the meantime, I made some carrot ribbons using this julienne peeler and also had some pak choi on hand, which I just cut the stems off and minced a couple of cloves of garlic. I added both the pak choi and garlic to the pan once the tofu had gotten crispy. On medium heat, these only take 2 to 3 minutes. And to assemble, I topped the soba with the sauteed veggies and the crispy tofu. For some other toppings, I added pickled red onions, fresh parsley and sesame seeds. Lastly, I drizzled a quick miso peanut butter sauce that I've probably made hundreds of times at this point because it's just so good and goes with so many dishes. And that was my dinner. Super delicious, and I think it probably took like 20 minutes to make. And that also brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed and got some inspiration out of it. If you'd like, feel free to leave a comment and I'll see you very soon.